Again! Ah!
Roots was a watershed television event back in 1977, and it came about in large part thanks to the efforts of the visionary Barry Diller. Diller's been living in the public eye for decades, but as he tells Tracy Smith, nobody has known the real Barry Diller until now.
When this was an abandoned rail line, did
Yes.
you picture this?
I wish I could say I pictured this.
Last week, a few steps from Manhattan's Little Island, the people enjoying sunshine on the High Line Park took little notice of the man who helped create this corner of the world, the legendary businessman Barry Diller.
So the view here is incredible. You
I
see
know.
Little Island.
You see New York, when you're up here, even though you're not up very high, you really are elevated in a totally different perspective of the city.
Talk about different perspectives. At 83, Barry Diller himself is now inviting people to take another look at him. Next week, he'll release his memoir, more than 10 years in the making. In Who Knew, he names plenty of names, tells wild stories, and bares his soul about things he says he vowed never to talk about in public.
You said in the preface, when I was young, I was far too afraid.
Yes.
I'm no longer that, and I'm too old to care.
Yes.
Afraid of what?
I was afraid of secrets being revealed. I thought I didn't qualify. I think just afraid of revealing myself.
Diller says he was in grade school when he first realized he might be gay.
11 or 12 years old, or 13, I got on my bike and I rode down to the Beverly Hills Public Library and I looked for books on homosexuality, and everything I read was like horrible. And I got on my bike and I rode home and thought, I'm a condemned person. I mean, for a little kid, that's not great.
And at age 16, you had your first sexual encounter. Did you tell your friends? Did you tell anybody about it?
Of course not. I didn't tell myself. I mean, I thought, oh, what did I think? I thought, oh, I did that. I don't have to do it again. It was
Really?
okay.
I did this thing with a guy, but
I did
that's
this
the
thing
end
with
of
a guy.
it.
Yeah, I don't need to do that again. And then a month later, I did.
Did it again.
And then I knew.
But at the time, he thought it best to keep it a secret. He vowed never to lie about it, only to keep it quiet.
You say that through your life, your sexuality was like this anvil on a wire hanging over your head.
Yes, because I was afraid. Listen, this is in the 60s and 70s. Well, I think probably I was being realistic that, first of all, my sexuality was confused. And I thought, well, if I reveal it, what am I actually going to reveal? I didn't want to risk what a lot of other people risked, even at that time. I mean, talking about homosexuality, talking about whatever sexuality is, was something that scared the hell out of me.
In private, Barry Diller lived in fear of being found out, but in public, he was one of the gutsiest leaders in the game.
Presenting the world premiere of an original motion picture produced especially for ABC.
As a junior executive at ABC, he pioneered the highly successful Movie of the Week. And later created the even more successful TV miniseries with landmark events like Roots. When Roots first aired in 1977, more than half the U.S. population tuned in.
You really were having 30, 40 to 50 million people watching at one time, because there was, of course, no recorder. It was appointment viewing, and everyone in America came to the appointment.
And then the man who conquered TV went to the movies.
So at age 32,
Yes,
you become head of Paramount.
I do.
Did you feel like you belonged?
Oh my God, no. when I became chairman of Paramount, and I was this kid from television of all things. It was like, how in God's name did that happen? That is an accident of history that will be quickly corrected.
But the kid from TV knew how to tell a good story and gave the green light to a string of films that have since become classics, like 1977's Saturday Night Fever.
In those early years at Paramount, while you're getting your footing there, you met Diane von Furstenberg. Here we go. And it's interesting because you didn't click with her at first, but then when the two of you clicked, you clicked.
Yeah, it was, the first time I met her, I never wanted to see her again. And because she was dismissive of me and whatever. But then the second time that we met, which was a few months later, within minutes, and it was pure desire.
And it was a steamy romance.
Yes. Oh, yes. It was those things.
And you make it clear, I mean, I'll just put it out there, your relationship with Diane is not just platonic.
No. No, it didn't start that. No.
No. You're lovers.
Yes.
It seems to me like one of the points you're trying to make in the book is that it doesn't have to be a mutually exclusive thing, that you can be in love with Diane and at the same time be attracted to men.
Yes, I don't see anything mutually exclusive about that. Now, I mean, other people may, but I don't. If I know that the person cares about me, I'm not jealous of anything else. So that's just luck, I guess.
Diller says he owes much of his professional success to luck as well. And boy, it seems he's had a lot of it. In the 80s, as the chairman of Fox, he created a fourth TV network, Homer Simpson and all.
Huh? Don't you get it? You gotta use reverse psychology. That sounds too complicated. Okay, don't use reverse psychology. All right, I will.
You get bored by success.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, once it's there, what are you going to do with it?
In the 90s, Diller switched gears again, investing in home shopping and eventually scooping up a bunch of internet businesses that became household names like Expedia and Match.com. And in between, he and von Furstenberg helped create the High Line, donating their time and tens of millions of dollars.
It's quite a space.
Yeah, it ain't bad. It doesn't cure cancer. It's not going to change the dynamics of the world, eradicate disease or whatever, but it brings pleasure to people.
He says he has a similar goal with this book, to share a good story, and that means telling the truth, to finally let go of a secret he's been holding on to for a lifetime.
You do touch on these feelings of maybe I was wrong.
No, I don't know that I was wrong about not talking about my private life. I think I was a coward, and I don't like that. But that is the truth. I was. I did not have, and I wish I did, I did not have the courage at that time to make declarations.
Does that weigh on you?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it weighing on me, but it is something that, of course, I've thought. But it didn't turn out so terribly.
The same might be said of his personal life, too. Diller and Diane von Furstenberg were married in 2001, and they're strong as ever.
You call your relationship with her the bedrock of your life. What does she
sure.
mean to you?
Well, I don't know any better description than bedrock, but the best times for us are when it's just us. And after almost 50 years, how lucky do you get?